If you're pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant, these are the signs and symptoms for a severe medical emergency. It's called preeclampsia, and I think every future parent needs to know these because they're honestly very easy to overlook. My name is Michael Clark. I'm a firefighter EMT, and I'm also a father who had a child 2 months early because of preeclampsia. So I'm just going to get into the signs and symptoms right away. The last thing I wanted to do is tell this big long story, and someone's sitting there on their phone waiting to see if they should go to the hospital or not. That being said, I'm not a doctor, so if you have anything weird going on with your body, especially when it comes to pregnancy, don't listen to me. Just call your doctor, call 911, whatever you need to do. So let's get into the signs and symptoms of preeclampsia. The first big red flag when it comes to preeclampsia is going to be your blood pressure. If it's anything like 140/90 consistently, that's going to be a big indicator that you should go get checked out. Another red flag is going to be swelling in your hands, face, especially your feet. You might see some sudden weight gain, or you'll have severe headaches that just won't go away. You can also have pain in your upper right abdomen, as well as nausea or vomiting. You also might have vision changes like spots in your vision or blurry vision as well, and shortness of breath. So that being said, you don't have to have every single one of these things to have preeclampsia. You can have one or two. It doesn't mean you have it, and also doesn't mean you don't have it. But if you think something's going on and you feel off and you notice some of these things, go get it checked out, go to the hospital right away. Especially when it comes to high blood pressure or spots in your vision, those are a big indicator of preeclampsia. So what is preeclampsia? Preeclampsia is the blood vessels are narrowing, which makes blood harder to move through the body, especially when it comes down to the placenta. Your kidneys start leaking protein, so if you have any kind of test, you might see protein in your urine. Your liver can become stressed or damaged, and your brain can swell up, which will lead to vision change or even seizures. Overall, your body is reacting to a problem with your placenta. So now that we talked about preeclampsia, what is eclampsia? Eclampsia is basically all these bad things that we talked about for preeclampsia are now happening. The mother is seizing, her organs are going through organ failure, the baby could be dying. It's a severe emergency, and the only thing to stop eclampsia is to deliver the baby. Now, when it comes to preeclampsia, you can go to the hospital and get on some blood pressure meds or on magnesium sulfate, which will help prevent against seizures, and it will help keep the baby safe for as long as possible. Sometimes they'll keep you in the hospital for a few weeks. In my situation, she was right on the border, preeclampsia and eclampsia, so they just had to deliver the baby right away. So we talked about preeclampsia, we talked about eclampsia. Basically, the main thing you want to look for is high blood pressure, spots in your vision, a lot of swelling, and there's a lot of other pregnancy emergencies that I can go into in other videos, but basically, if you see any kind of blood, if you have any kind of extreme blood pressure, or any kind of vision change, just go to the hospital. And honestly, even if you just don't feel well, if you feel like something's off, it's not anything you want to mess with. Just go to the hospital, call your doctor, call 911. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you the textbook answers for preeclampsia and what to look for. My girlfriend was pregnant at the time, and she had swelling, she had headaches before, but it's kind of a normal pregnancy thing. So I didn't think too much about it. You're like, okay, well, you're pregnant, so you're gonna have swelling in your feet. But one day she texts me while I'm at work, and she says, I've been seeing spots in my vision. And that's a huge red flag. So I say, okay, I want you to go home, and I have an electric blood pressure cuff. And I want you to go find it. It's in the basement, and take your blood pressure. So of course she finishes the workday like the trooper she is. When she gets home, she finds the blood pressure cuff. She puts it on, and she says, it says 170/120. That is crazy. If you know anything about blood pressure, you know that is extremely high, especially for a 5'5", 110-pound lady. But the blood pressure cuff was sitting in the basement for years. It was an electric one. And honestly, I was surprised it was even working. So I was thinking maybe it's not calibrated. I was very alarmed, but I said, okay, just take it a few more times. Let's see. So she takes it a few more times, still high 170s. So I say, okay, listen, you need to go to the hospital right now. And she's like, oh, you're just being nervous. You're a nervous dad. I'll be fine. So she calls her friend who's a nurse. And she also says, yes, you need to go to the hospital right away. So she goes to the hospital, and at this time, I'm driving back. I know it's going to be something bad. It's a 2-hour drive back, so I'm heading back. While she's waiting to get checked into the ER, they are having her sit there for a very long time. Apparently, the lady who checks you in just assumed that she took her blood pressure wrong when she told her. So they had her sitting in the waiting room for a very long time. And when they come out to check her vitals, it is now almost 190 over something. It is crazy high. When I found this out, I was so annoyed. So they're like, oh, okay, we got to get you back right away. They get her on some blood pressure medications and some magnesium sulfate. And then I get there and I can see all of her vitals, and I can also see our baby's heart rate. And it was at around 100. And that's very low for a fetus. And the nurse comes in and she sees that as well. And she says, okay, your baby's getting really sleepy. I'm going to go grab the doctor and we're probably going to do a C-section right away. So that was very scary for us. The doctor comes in, he says, yeah, we got to do a C-section right away. We rush her back there. And if you ever have the chance to watch a C-section, I highly recommend it because it is a crazy experience. I was an EMT, but I've never seen some crazy gory stuff. I've been on some medical calls, but nothing crazy. So I'm like, this will be a good exposure for me. So I stand up and I'm looking over the curtain. And you know, in the movies, it looks like surgeries are all delicate and stuff like that. No, they are pulling muscle and tissue. It was insane. I was so shocked as how aggressive they were pulling on her body. And then the doctor picks up this very small gray little person. He's 2 pounds, 14 ounces. And they had to rush him back and put him on CPAP and do a bunch of things to him. And so he was in the hospital in the NICU for 2 months. He's doing a lot better now. He's up to 15 pounds and we're very happy that he's home. But that is my story with preeclampsia. And like I said, it's something that you can easily overlook, especially if you have a very tough mom who's just like, oh, I'm swelling. It's fine. I just have a headache. It's fine. So I hope that helped you guys out. And I want to say thank you to Braden for giving me this idea for a video. And if you are his EMT students watching this right now, I'm gonna give you a little tip. If you have a test come up and it says, here's all the signs and symptoms, is this eclampsia or preeclampsia? If she is seizing, that's eclampsia. Everything else is preeclampsia. So here he is now, all 15 pounds of him. We hope this video helped you guys out. And he also says, make sure you like and subscribe. He said it, not me. Thanks.